Number 11, the Dallas Stars. Big step up last year. Obviously, all right, fuck it.
Ebola.
That's all you would have heard. You know what's going to happen as soon as we start talking is the central air is going to kick on. And we're just going to hear that. We're just going to hear that. Stupid son of a bitch.
All right, let's try again from the Ebola capital
All right.
of the world.
All right, and go. All right, number 11, the Dallas Stars. A big step up last year. They made the playoffs, at least.
Yes.
It's better.
And they did very well. They actually give the Anaheim Ducks a run for the money. And that was, I think, one of I'll say it. It was probably the most fun to watch that series. Yes. I loved watching that series.
Yeah, as is with most first round series. But
other than the Columbus
Pittsburgh. Yeah, yes. No, but for the Western Conference, that was the most exciting one to watch.
I agree, 100% agree.
Obviously, last year getting Tyler Seguin, best thing that happened to that team.
Oh yeah.
Now it's not. It wasn't all on Jamie Benn trying to do everything like it had been for the couple years prior when he was really coming along. Mm-hmm. So now you have a really good Tyler Seguin, who again Boston thought he wasn't going to do anything, and that was why they shipped him out in that trade for Louis Erickson. But then
the problem with Boston shipping him out was you had Patrice Bergeron, who was arguably the best two-way center in the game, and then you had underneath him David Krejci, and then it's honestly at that point it's like, where does
Seguin fit?
Exactly. And
but what? You know where he does fit? In Dallas.
He's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Him and Jamie Benn played very well together, and he's a very fun player to watch. I love watching Tyler Seguin play.
And now you can add in Jason Spezza and Ales Hemsky to this team,
who already have a chemistry together, which kind of is not something being talked about a lot. That goes a long way when you can bring a first or second line center, and depending on the matchup you want to play there, you already have a winger who's going to score you goals and get you points, who already has played with that center.
Yes, and I was discussing this on our English Premier League podcast, which is part of the 3x5 Sports Network. You should all go to that site, 3x5sn.com, for all the content, ours included, that there are certain teams that play well together. When you play with the same people, you know where someone's going to be. In this case, hockey, you know where someone's going to be on the ice. You can you know where the puck's going without even looking at it.
And this is a factor that we talked about with teams like Columbus and teams like Minnesota.
Oh yeah,
these are teams. And I think Dallas is one of those teams, even bringing in guys like J.C. Spezza, Ales Hemsky, because these guys have played together.
Yeah, you're pretty much looking at the exact same team as last year that took a step up and only getting better, and then you add Spezza and Hemsky.
Which is just that's another second line scoring, which is probably what they're going to be. Or
is Ales Hemsky really, really underrated? Because I don't.
He's had a couple good years, couple bad years,
but it's weird.
Let me put it this way. Dallas did not downgrade it anyway by picking up Ales Hemsky.
I'm not,
especially with a player like Jason Spezza. Or if you decide to mix things up, put Ales Hemsky on the first line. Yeah. Him, Jamie Benn, and Tyler Seguin. Who knows? But that's up for the coaches to make the decision. I'm not obviously going to speculate what lines are going to be there. Something that doesn't get talked about a lot with Dallas is their goaltender and Kari Lehtonen, who I think is probably the most underrated goalie in the league. I'll go out and say that. He's very, very good. He's very good. And I think if it wasn't for Tuukka Rask, I think he would have been the starter for the Finnish national team. Obviously, a lot of speculation with that, but Kari Lehtonen did very well for them in the playoffs. He did very well for them, and he seems to do it every year. Yeah. And he doesn't get any credit because he plays in a non-hockey market.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate, but guys like that, I will give him the credit where he deserves it. And not to mention the fact that I was a little skeptical about the defense, but then I looked at it. Their defense is quietly okay. I mean, they're headed up by Goligoski, but they have decent depth for them. But this team's obviously it has its star power up front, and even more now. And it's a little bit of a top-heavy team. It falls off after the first and second line.
But that's most teams, honestly. That's a lot of teams.
Yeah, but I think the teams that are, the top 5, top 10 teams, they're maybe top 7 if you want to go that particular with it. Yeah. They can roll 3 lines and get points from all of them. And I don't think Dallas could have, because after that you're looking at guys like Fiddler and and Vladimir Nichushkin, who's young and going to be good, but right now is not right there.
Yeah. Well, that's why we rank them 11th.
Yeah.
Because they're not yet in that top tier. Perhaps next year.
Yeah.
But again, as I said, it's the same team, and they're all getting better.
Yes, and I think Valery Nichushkin comes out and has a breakout year this year because I think he had
underrated picks from last year's draft.
Exactly, he had a very good year. The problem is he wasn't exactly a Nathan McKinnon type of rookie, so he kind of got overlooked. And once again, being in Dallas,
yes, but again, it doesn't mean anything. He's going to be one of those guys from that really stacked draft that's going to come out and be good, which I thought he was. I
would look for this team to make a push to the playoffs and definitely make the playoffs. I would say they need to make one more move.
Yes.
I would like to see another scorer added, like a depth scorer, like a sort of I brought him up before, like a Brian Giunta kind of guy, like a rented player, unfortunately, is what I'll call him. But and then maybe solidify the back end a little bit more because when your top two are Goligoski and Dillon, it's not exactly the best. And then you did lose Alex Chiasson
trade.
Trade.
You traded them to Ottawa. Sorry.
Exactly. And now that they actually have a decent backup, it'll be in Anders Lindback. I think the team is going to be better.
I'm on the fence with Lindback. He's whatever. But no, I think they'll be fine. And perhaps a potential suitor for those San Jose guys if they want to dump guys. Maybe they'll find a trade partner.
Who knows?
But number 11, we're hitting the top 10. Yes.
Aha!